Happy morning dear students. Welcome to Science online class. In today's science session we are going to revise chapter 2 in science, that is transport and excretion. So in this chapter we have already learned that blood is an important transporter in our body because blood carries many things in our body. So children, you know the things which our blood carries. Do you remember what things our blood carries? Yes children, our blood carries oxygen and food to different part of our body. Our blood carries carbon dioxide from various part of the body. It carries it to the lungs. And also our blood carries waste from different part of our body. It carries it to an organ called as kidney. So children, in this lesson we will be revising how blood flows in our body, and also we will learn how our kidneys work. First, I'll tell you about an important organ system which is cardiovascular system. So which is the cardiovascular system? So cardiovascular system comprises of your heart as well as your blood vessels. So cardio means heart, vascular means blood vessels. So the cardiovascular system is formed by your heart and the blood vessels. So first I will tell you, give you a few information regarding your heart. So we know where your heart is located. Our heart is located between the lungs. Okay, the heart is located in a cavity, in a hollow which is formed by the bones of the chest. So heart is located between the lungs and a heart is tilted slightly towards the left. Okay, so your heart is not a straight bunch of muscle, but it is slightly tilted towards the right side, and your heart is formed by a specialized muscle. Okay, and this muscle helps the heart to contract and relax. So children, do you know what happens when a heart contracts and relax? When a heart contracts, the blood inside the heart is squeezed outside the heart. So when our heart muscles, when it relax, the blood from outside enters our heart. So this is what happens when our heart muscles contract and relax. And children, you very well know that our heart muscles, it doesn't take any rest throughout our life. From the time of the birth till our death, our heart muscles keep on pumping. Okay, it keeps on contracting and relaxing. So you will feel your heart. You can touch where your heart is. You can touch and feel your heart. You can hear the beat sounds of your heart. So next I will tell you about the blood vessels. So there are two types of blood vessels in our body. So what are the two? Name the two blood vessels in our body. They are arteries and the vein. So what are arteries? Arteries are blood vessels that carry the oxygenated or clean blood. Okay, so you remember whenever you say an artery always carry oxygenated blood. So arteries, when you say, you remember arteries carry oxygenated blood, and veins are blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood. Veins are blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood. So children, do you know what is oxygenated and what is deoxygenated blood? Oxygenated blood is the pure form of blood which has lots of oxygen in it. So it is called as oxygenated blood. So then what is deoxygenated blood? Deoxygenated blood is the blood which is loaded with carbon dioxide. So the deoxygenated blood is carried by the veins, and the oxygenated blood, they are carried by the arteries. And in our body, the veins are located superficial. Superficial means they lie under the skin, whereas the arteries are located deeper inside the muscles. So you have to remember the arteries are located deeper, whereas the veins are superficial. Children, can you differentiate an artery and a vein now? So arteries are blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood, and it carries the oxygenated blood from the heart. Okay, they carry from heart to all part of our body. body. So what are veins? Veins are blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood. They carry the deoxygenated blood from different part of the body to the heart for pumping it to the lungs or for oxygenation. And the arteries lie deeper under the body, under the muscles, whereas the veins lie superficial. The veins are superficial. Okay, next now I'll explain you how blood flows in our body. So the blood keeps on flowing in our body. So how does the blood flows in our body? We are going to learn it now. So the two important organs involved in the process of blood flow is heart and the lungs. So heart and the lungs are the two important organs which is involved in the cardiovascular system. So first thing is, we'll start from our organs. So what happens in our organs and in different cells of our body, waste products are continuously produced. So these waste products are carried from the different part of the body. The carbon dioxide and other waste, they are carried from different part of the body. They are taken to the heart. Okay, this deoxygenated blood is carried from the organs and different part of the body to the heart through the veins. So what you have to remember, the veins carry the deoxygenated blood from different part of our body to the heart. So this is the first step. Second, what happens is, from the heart, so we all know heart is a pumping organ. Its function is to pump the blood. So heart pump the deoxygenated blood through to the lungs for purification. So the process of purification happens in the lungs. So heart pump the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification. So the first step is, the veins carry the deoxygenated blood from the different part of the body to the heart, and again the deoxygenated blood is carried from the heart to the lungs by the veins. And next what happens is, from the lungs purification happens in the lungs, and from there the oxygenated blood returns to the heart. So after purification, after the process of gas exchange, the oxygenated blood, they return back to the heart. And from the heart, the arteries carry the oxygenated blood to the different part of our body. So this is how blood flows in our body. So children, I will explain you again. So the veins carry the deoxygenated blood from different part of a body to the heart. Heart pumps the blood. So the deoxygenated blood is carried from the heart to the lungs, and the oxygenated blood, after oxygenation or after purification, the oxygenated blood return back to the heart, and from the heart the oxygenated blood is pumped to different part of the body through the arteries. So this is how blood flows in the body. And in this lesson we will be learning also about the excretory system. So as far as our knowledge, when we say excretory system, we always think about the kidney. Okay, but there are many other organs also which are involved in the process of excretion. So children, in this lesson we will be revising in detail about the different organs involved in excretion, and also about how our kidney works.
Students, you can turn your textbooks to page number 5, chapter 2, Transport and Excretion. So in the first paragraph it says, blood transports or carries various things around the body. It carries food and oxygen. It carries carbon dioxide to the lungs, and it collects waste from all parts of the body, and it carries it to the organ called as kidneys. So children, you can take a pencil and underline 3 important things blood carries in our body. So number 1 is food and oxygen. Number 2, it is carbon dioxide. And 3 is waste from all over the body to the kidney. So moving on to the circulatory system, you can underline the first line, circulatory system is formed by heart and the blood vessels. So it helps carry blood and transport various things around the body. Moving on to the next paragraph, heart. The heart is stuck between the lungs. Okay, so heart is located between the lungs inside the hollow formed by the bones of the chest. So it tilts a little to the left. So you can underline this. It tilts a little to the left, and when the muscles contract, the blood gets squeezed out of the heart. When they relax, the heart fills up with blood. So next is the blood vessels. The two main blood vessels are arteries and veins. Arteries are vessels that carry blood from heart to rest of the body. You can underline this line. Arteries are vessels that carry blood from the heart to rest of the body, and veins are vessels that carry blood from different part of the body to the heart. Arteries lie deep, so you cannot see them, but veins lie superficial under the skin. Students, you can turn to the next page, page number 6. Now let's revise how blood flows in our body. And this question is very important in your exam point of view. So you must know how blood flows throughout our body. So I am reading to you the first line. The blood carried by the veins to the heart has carbon dioxide collected from all over the body. It means the blood carried by the veins, okay, it has lots of carbon dioxide and it is collected from all different part of the body. So next, what the heart does it pumps the deoxygenated blood into the lungs, and in the lungs the blood will lose the carbon dioxide and it will take in the oxygen. So this process is called as gas exchange. So which means, children, the oxygen is taken inside the blood vessels and the carbon dioxide is given outside. So the blood will pick up the oxygen and it will drop off the carbon dioxide. And the oxygenated blood, that is the blood which is very rich or loaded in oxygen, it will return back to the heart from the lungs, and the heart will pump this clean or oxygenated blood into the arteries which carry it to every part of the body. So this process happens continuously in our body. So what happens first is the deoxygenated blood from every part of the body. So what is deoxygenated blood? The oxygen less blood, or the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, they are called as deoxygenated blood. So the deoxygenated blood from different part of the body, it is carried by the veins to the heart, and from the heart the deoxygenated blood is pumped to the lungs for oxygenation. So what is oxygenation? Oxygenation means it is a process by which gas exchange takes place. What is gas exchange? The blood will drop off the carbon dioxide and it will pick up the oxygen, and it will carry the oxygen rich blood back to the heart. That is, the oxygenated blood is carried back to the heart. From the heart, the oxygenated or clean blood is pumped to different part of the body. So arteries carries this oxygenated blood to different and all part of the body. So this is how the blood flows in our body. Students, we have learnt about the blood vessels, arteries and veins, and how blood flows through the body. So next we'll see about heartbeat. Students, do you know how heartbeat is produced? So every time when our heart contract and relax, what happens is, during contraction, when our heart contract, the blood is squeezed out into the arteries and a sound is produced. So after which, when a heart relaxes, the blood fills up the heart. So during that time also a softer sound is produced. So we call these two sounds as heartbeat. So our heart beat about 70 to 80 times in a minute, and doctors use a stethoscope to listen to our heartbeat. So stethoscope is an instrument which is used by the doctors to listen to our heartbeat. Next, let's move on to excretory system. So first, let's see what is excretion. So excretion is the process of getting rid of waste from the body. So the process of removal of waste from the body is called as excretion, and many organs in our body help us in removing the waste. So the first organ is lung. So first, let's see how lungs help in removing the waste. So the lungs helps us to throw out carbon dioxide and water vapor. So when we breathe out, carbon dioxide and water vapor is given out, and the skin helps us to get rid of salt and water in the form of sweat. So when we sweat, the waste products like salt and water is given out, and the large intestine help us get rid of waste in the form of stool. So the large intestine in a body, large amount of waste is given out when we pass stool. And the kidneys help us to get rid of waste in the form of urine. And the kidneys are the important organs which form the excretory system. So the excretory system is formed of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. So let's see about each of these parts now. Kidneys are two bean shaped organs. So kidneys are usually in the shape of a bean, and they lie behind our stomach. So you know where is your stomach, okay, isn't it? So behind our stomach lies the kidney. So kidney is usually said to be in the lower back area. So it is in the back, okay, lower back region. So now let's revise how the kidneys help in excretion. The blood carries waste from different part of the body. It carries the waste to the kidneys, and kidneys has some specialized cells. Okay, these cells act as a filters, and there are millions of such filters inside your kidney. So what happens is these filter, they strain out the waste from the blood. So when we prepare tea, what your mama do, she will strain out the powder, okay, the tea leaves or the tea powder from the tea or from the milk. So similarly, these filters will strain out the waste from the blood, and the blood vessels will carry the clean blood from the kidney. So what will happen to the waste? The waste is mixed with water and it is given out in the form of urine. This is how our kidneys excrete the waste from the body. Next, let's see about the urinary bladder. Children, you can see in this picture, from the kidney two tube-like structures arise, and these tubes are called as ureters, and this tube carries the urine from the kidney to a pouch, okay, like a bag, pouch or a bag like organ, and this organ is called as urinary bladder. So the two tubes coming out from the kidney, they are called as ureter. They carry the urine to the urinary bladder, a pouch like organ. So when the urinary bladder becomes full, we feel the urgency or urge to pass urine, and the urine leaves the body through an opening which is called as urethra. So you can see in this picture, at the end of the urinary bladder there is an opening which is called as urethra, through which the urine leaves the body. So students, in today's session we have seen that the circulatory system is formed by our heart and the two blood vessels, arteries and veins. Arteries are blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood to different part of the body, whereas veins are blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood from different part of the body to the heart. We learned how blood flows in our body and also about how our excretory system functions. The kidney, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra make up the excretory system, and the kidney is the main organ which help in excretion because there are tiny filters present in your kidney which strain out the waste from the blood, and the waste mixes with water and collects in the kidney to form urine, and this urine is carried by the ureter to the urinary bladder. From the ureter, the urine is given out through a small opening called as urethra. So today everyone must take your textbook and read the lesson at least once, and then you can copy down the classwork from the notes given. So children, no need to copy down the choose and fill in the blanks. It is already in the book, so you can just write the answer in your textbook. But I want you all to copy the question answer in your notebook. Students, you can draw the diagram in the unruled side, and you also follow the instructions given in your notes. Students, you can take note of today's assignment. Complete the book exercise in page number 8. You can write in pencil in your book. So once I send you the answers in the evening, you can counter check and make the corrections. Next is to copy lesson 2 notes, that is only the question answer in your classwork. No need to copy all the book exercise in your classwork. And third is to learn lesson 2 fully. So thank you children. People who are not able to complete your classwork by today, you can submit it by tomorrow. Thank you children. Have a nice day.